Well, Tom, it was a heart-stopping sight. Danielle Cruz was driving on the highest bridge in Metro Atlanta back in July when she came across a young woman standing on the edge of the bridge. So Cruz stopped. She intervened. The Fox Medical Team's Beth Galvin has her story.
This all happened in the pouring rain in a really dangerous curve, so I think many of us would have seen the car with its hazards on and kept going, maybe called 911 to tell them a motorist was in trouble. But Danielle Cruz made a split-second decision to stop, and with no training and no mental health experience, she found herself trying to save a stranger's life. On July 31st, Danielle Cruz found herself in an incredibly dangerous situation.
So I was driving up 85 and I was on the highest bridge of Spaghetti Junction, and I came up on a car that was pulled over.
That's when Cruz saw a young woman on a cell phone standing at the edge of the bridge.
I instantly knew what was happening, and I believe God showed me that, but I instantly knew that she was thinking about jumping off the bridge.
Cruz quickly pulled over, later taking this photo, part of a Facebook post shared 11,000 times about what happened next.
By the time I got to her, I could tell she was crying. And so I quickly asked her, I said, "Ma'am, are you okay?" She looked at me and just started sobbing, crying. So I just hugged her. It was the first thing I thought to do was just hug her.
Cruz had no training in this kind of thing, so she went on instinct.
And then I asked her, I said, "Are you thinking about jumping off of this bridge?" And she said yes.
Quietly, she called 911 and flagged down another driver.
But at some point I realized that I couldn't convince her to not do what she was trying to do.
And when a similar scene unfolded on an Orlando interstate, truck drivers lined up their rigs to try to save a stranger from jumping. But how do you know what to do in a moment like this?
It really requires stepping outside of how you're feeling.
Licensed psychologist Wendy Dickinson of Grow Counseling says Danielle Cruz did everything right. She stopped, she stayed calm, she showed real compassion.
One of the things I would say is to just be really direct. Let the person know you care, and then ask them what their thoughts are. It's okay to ask specifically, do you want to die? Have you thought about hurting yourself?
I think she didn't want to do it, but I think she felt helpless and hopeless.
The woman did not jump that day. She was taken away in an ambulance, and Danielle Cruz hasn't seen her since.
I still feel slightly emotional about it.
But she believes she did the right thing.
It was an act of heroism, and I would say that what we learned from it is that anybody can be a hero. Any of us can intervene, any of us can help save a life.
Danielle says she had no idea what to say that day, so she just kept asking questions and letting the woman know that she wasn't alone. And she thinks that that simple act of being there with that woman in the moment kept her from jumping until first responders arrived. For the Fox Medical Team, I'm Beth Galvin.